What if you could feel absolutely certain about a positive belief and get rid of maybe a negative belief that you have about business or your relationship or your health, and be able to do that in a moment? Would that be beneficial? Not years, not 5 years, not 7 years, not 15 years, but to be able to do it in a moment. Because the moment that you can understand how the brain works and how it is like a computer, and you can start programming it, what you're going to learn tonight is how to hack that, how to hack your brain. We all have a manual in our car, right? Some of us have never even taken that manual out. In the glove box. You remember, right? It's in the glove box. And what does that manual say about your car? Everything, right? How to do this, how to do that. If something happens, this is what happens. Now, oftentimes, it takes something to happen to pick up that manual, right? Isn't that true? The thing is most people never ever even open that manual up to see what's in it. What you're going to learn tonight is a small piece of that entire manual. That entire manual, just like that manual is to your car, NLP is to yourself, to your brain. Now, how many of you, it's your first time ever hearing about NLP? First time ever. So everyone knows that it stands for neuro-linguistic programming, right? Lots of different definitions. I consistently learn all the time. It's an ongoing science, it's an ongoing process. And what I've learned is that it's the communication we have with ourselves and with others. So what we're going to jump right into, because I know all of you are here, isn't it, I mean, if you could learn how to control yourself and program yourself better, could you get better results, right? Could you start eating better? Could you start getting healthier? Could you live longer? Could you get better results in your business, right? Could you sell more things? Could you be more persuasive, not only, let's say, in groups of people, but one-on-one with people, with your kids, right? So whatever reason you're here tonight, I want you to hold on to that reason and apply whatever learnings you get from tonight for that. Is that fair? Okay? Because again, this meetup is for you. So let's dive right into it. We know that change always happens in what part of our mind? What part of our, do we have, how many parts of our minds do we have? Okay. Right. Now, the way that humans learn is by responding. Okay? So when I ask a question, feel free, if you know the answer, to shout it out. Because the more that you can get your physiology involved, the more your neurology will be involved, and the easier it will be for you to recall whatever it is and to gain the learnings at a much deeper unconscious level. Okay? So be as interactive as you want. So we have two minds. What are our two minds? What is it? Conscious and? Again, what is it? And? We also learn through repetition. So if I do that quite a bit, it's for you, so you can really digest and memorize and get to know this stuff. So we know that if we consciously say, I want to lose 10 pounds. Sure, consciously you might want to lose 10 pounds. But unconsciously, if you've been eating junk food every single day for the last 30, 40 years of your life, what's your unconscious going to say? It's going to be like, I don't think so, because look at what you've done in the past. And so being able to train the unconscious, being able to program it at a really deep level, that's what creates the permanent and consistent change in any person. Now, if you have the tools through NLP or tools like hypnosis, you're able to do that in a much shorter amount of time. Now, there are a lot of tools out there. NLP and hypnosis are just two of tools that you can use. Okay? So there's a lot of other tools. We've just found that NLP is one of the most effective and easiest and fastest tools you can use. So today's meetup is all about the barcodes in our mind, right? We have these if this had a barcode on it, let's see, maybe we got one over here. We have these barcodes, right? Just like this. If I took a scanner and I scanned this, what would pop up on the reader? All this, right? It would say, okay, this is the Hypnosis Health Pack. It'd pop up the price. It'd pop up everything. But what if I took one of the what if I took one of these bars and I made it just a little bit fatter? What would happen? This DVD box set would turn into a toaster oven. Just like that. Poof. Right? Because the moment we change just one of the bars, it would not be the same thing anymore. Not be the same thing. So if we learned how we encode things, how we encode certain experiences in our life, and those experiences make us feel a certain way, then if we know how to shift that, we can take something that has been negatively impactful and change it into something that isn't. Now, how many of you know the 5 senses that we perceive our entire reality with? How do we even know what is? How do we know? There's only 5 ways that we know. Who knows one of them? Okay, we got smell, right? So we have olfactory, we have sight, visual, what is it? Yeah, we have hearing. Okay, yeah. So we have visual, right? What else? Audio. That's right. What's K stand for? Good. Olfactory and? So our entire world we know through these 5 modalities. In NLP we call them modalities. They're ingredients. Right? They're ingredients. Now if someone, does someone have a really good recipe in here? Anyone? Really good recipe? I know you got one. What do you got? Enchiladas. Okay. So next meetup, we're going to have some of enchiladas. So what was your name? Cindy. Cool. Good to meet you. So if I ask Cindy, please Cindy, could you give us your recipe? And you know, we had to twist Cindy's arm, and she said, okay, I will give you my secret enchilada recipe. And she told us, well, what do you need for your enchiladas? You need cheese, you need a certain sauce, you need corn tortillas. Yeah, corn tortillas. And she gave us all the ingredients. She gave us all the ingredients to make this thing real. Is that all we would need? Could we make it if she just, I mean, if she just said, these are the main things you need, could we make that? Probably not. What are we missing? The process, the quantity, what do we, what's the temperature, right? We're missing all those little things. Those things are called submodalities. That's the quantity. So we have the ingredients, right? We have the ingredients, but we also need the quantity and the quality of the things. And if we can get that, we can come up with a really good recipe, and we can very closely match exactly her phenomenal enchilada recipe. Right? So why is this important? Well, do you think everything that we do is some sort of recipe? Is some sort of strategy? Could that be? Right? Am I talking to myself? Right? It could possibly be. How we get happy, is that a recipe? How we get sad and depressed, is that a recipe? How we get motivated, is that a recipe? How about if someone is really wealthy and they know how to make money? Is that a strategy and recipe? What about someone who's really caring and loving, and they've been, you know, it's a couple and they've been married for 70 years and they're happy. Is that a recipe? Yeah, absolutely. You see, in NLP, we know that nothing just happens. Everything happens justly because of certain things. And if you can sit, and NLP is based on one of the most phenomenal principles you can apply to your life right now and instantly see better results, instantly, leaving these doors tomorrow, if you applied this one thing, you could immediately get instant results. And that's modeling. Modeling. What does modeling mean?
Doing
Copying?
what someone else does to get success.
Absolutely. Doing what someone else does to get success. So why are we working so hard? Why do we like to do it the hard way? Aside from maybe some of us enjoy torturing ourselves. Programmed that way, beliefs. We don't know any better. Yeah, maybe all of those are true. If you're in a place where you'd like to be financially free, who have you been taking advice from? Right? I was reading Cosmo. It's not my Cosmo, my girlfriend's Cosmo. And in this Cosmo, there was a quote by Mary Kate Olsen, one of the twins. And she said she only takes advice from people that she would switch places with. She only takes advice from people she would switch places with. So she's not taking relationship advice from someone who's been divorced 5 times. Probably doing the opposite of what they suggest. She's not taking advice from people who are broke and giving financial advice. She's not doing that. She's not taking advice from someone who's overweight and unhealthy. She finds the people who has the results, who has the right strategy, who has the right barcodes, and she's modeling those barcodes. Everyone follow me? So if you take one thing away from this evening, it's that. It's figure out some way, somehow, to model someone who already has the results you want. Who already has it. Right? If you get depressed really easy, well, figure out, go hang out with someone who's really happy. And figure out how they get happy. Because it's a certain thing that they do. As a matter of fact, it's 3 major components to it. Three major things, how we do what we do. Does anyone know these 3 major things? Okay, I'll give you a hint. Is this interesting to you guys, by the way? Okay, all right. Just checking in. The first thing that all of us do, but we do it on an unconscious basis, all day long, we always do this, is we make pictures in our mind, right? So it's the pictures we make in our mind. What if I said to all of you, who loves oysters? Okay. Who loves oysters? One person? No one over here? Okay, a couple people? That's it? Okay? Who hates oysters? Right? So as soon as those words came out of my mouth, a picture was made. Right? Whether you're consciously aware of it or not, for you to hate oysters, you have to have a certain type of picture pop up. Maybe if you don't like them, it's slimy and it's like snot. And you're picturing that, and you're like, oh my God, I'd never eat that. But for those of you that do like them, maybe you pictured them really close, and it's like this color movie picture, and it's just tasty and whatever, you know? So you picture things all the time. All the time. If you meet somebody, and if you have a negative anchor, if you have something negative associated, then you're going to make negative pictures. So we always want to be careful with these pictures, right? Now, what's really interesting is most events that we've had in our life that are memorable, right, that are very vivid. Let's try this really quick. Okay? Go ahead, close your eyes for a second. Don't worry, I'm not going to hypnotize anybody. And I want you to picture a really, really vivid event in your life. Could be positive, could be negative. It doesn't matter. Picture a really vivid event in your life. Go ahead, do that now. Good. Go ahead and open your eyes. Most likely, that event had some emotion around it. Because for that event to be popped up into your mind, it needs to be emotionally charged. Also, that event, if you really had a lot of emotion in that event, most likely it was very associated. What does that mean? Associated means that you are actually watching the event through your own eyes. How many saw it through your own eyes? Okay, almost everybody. When you're associated, when you're seeing it through your own eyes, there's a lot of emotion. What about disassociated? What's that mean? You got it. You're watching yourself, and there's no feeling when you're disassociated. So, does everyone want to save a lot of money by not going to therapy? I'm going to save you a lot of money right now. If you're having an emotional event, on occasion I'll see clients one-on-one. Most of the time I'm doing group workshops like this. If there's anyone that is having a lot of negative feeling, or they have this anger, or anything like that, you can instantly disassociate them from that scenario and they'll immediately lose it. It just won't be there. Right? And there's different advanced techniques like timeline dynamics that you can take people through and get rid of these negative emotions permanently. Because in that space, in that time, that can't exist. And that all of that has to do with the different barcodes, how we interpret things. So the pictures we make. Okay? Let's do another quick little exercise. Go ahead and close your eyes, and I want you to envision, go to a place where you had an argument, just a minor argument, and I want you to see this argument through your own eyes. Nothing major, but you had an argument and there was some emotion behind it. I want you to notice how that feels. Notice how that feels. Okay? Now I want you to go ahead and just imagine this. We all have an imagination. Use it for a change. Go ahead and float up out of your body. And I want you to float into the other person's body that you were having this argument with. Float into that person and look through their eyes and really see their perspective. And notice that feels different. Notice how that feels. Now I want you to float up above, seeing yourself and that other person in the argument, almost from a third view perspective, like a little fly on the wall. Go to that viewpoint. Like a little fly on the wall and just notice what's happening. Notice how you feel now. Notice the difference. Good. And when you're ready, come back down into your body and open your eyes. Open your eyes. Welcome back. What'd you notice?
There's no charge. Change in intensity.
Okay. Who else noticed that? That happens every time. Every single time. If you followed the instructions, if you used your imagination, that happens every time. Is that powerful? Just that little shift is monumental. And it's because the barcodes are being shifted just a little bit. Same event, but you're interpreting it. You're giving it different meaning just by doing that. That's a tool you can use whenever you want. Something happens at work, you get upset, you can use that. Right? In a relationship, you get into an argument, immediately. It takes a couple seconds. You can use that. In your business, when you're sitting with a client, right, and you want to sell them something, do you think it could help you to see their perspective and fulfill their needs instead of going into a sales presentation thinking about your needs? Would that help? Absolutely, every single time. Physiology is the next one. Our physiology, right? We know just our physiology can instantly change your state. Instantly, like this. Right? You could be, if I asked all of you, all right, let's get depressed. Let's get depressed. Get depressed. Stop, you can't smile and be depressed. Don't mess this up, Rob. Get depressed. All of you, get depressed. Look what happens.
It's also annoying.
Right? Look what happens, right? Eyes go down, right? You start slouching. Shoulders go down, shallow breathing. Right? We know how to do that right away. Okay, now let's try this. Okay, sit up in your seats. Sit up straight, smile. Now get depressed. Now try to get depressed. You can't. You see? So our physiology is absolutely crucial because when you can control it, you can control your state. And when you're in control, you'll consistently get better results in your life. Because it's not those things out there that are giving you results. It's you. So your physiology is absolutely important. The pictures in your head are crucial. And, does anyone know the third one? Yeah. It's what you tell yourself every single day. It's what you say to yourself every single day. What do you tell yourself? Tony Robbins says that the outcome of your life, the level of quality of your life, is all dependent on the questions you ask yourself every single day. It's the questions you ask yourself every single day. Are you asking yourself, why am I broke? Why can't I just pay the bills? Why do I have a shitty relationship? Are you asking, why am I out of shape? Are you asking yourself those questions? Or could you be asking yourself more empowering questions? Those questions will determine what you get. When you combine those three, if you shift any one of them, you change. When you shift all three of them, you can create lasting change forever. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little shortcut. We're going to take a little shortcut by understanding and learning submodalities, the qualities and also the quantities of the recipe. So what do I mean by that? Let's think about this, right? We're an intelligent audience here, intelligent group, aside from being really, really good looking, all of you. Yes, that's right. So if I was to ask you, what are some visual qualities? What could you tell me? Color. So black or white. Would that be a quality? Absolutely. Black or white. What else? Or black or white. Black or white or color, right? Those are two different. Black or white or color. Those are an option. What else? What else is another visual quality? Focus. Is it blurry or is it focused? Right? Is it blurry or is it focused? Good. What else? The intensity. Right? Is it vivid or is it dull? Or is it a lot of times the intensity, if we're talking about visual, depends on the distance. Is it far away or is it right here? Right? Is it far away or is it right here in our face? What else? What's another visual one? Large or small, right? The picture could be right here. When I got rid of pizza, pizza for me was right here. It was right here in color. And it was walking around saying, "Eat me!" Right? It was right here, right in my face, and that's why I wanted pizza. But the moment that I turned it black and white and moved it away, by the way, what we're going to do works really, really good on food, it was gone. I didn't want it anymore because it was totally different. Right? It could also be panoramic. It could also be a video, it could be a movie, or it could be a still, right? Good. Auditory. What are some auditory qualities? Loud or soft, right? How many of you have trouble getting up in the morning? Okay? So, oftentimes, if you pay attention to that voice early in the morning when you're like about to get up, or it's like hard for you to get up, that voice, do you think it's loud or it's soft if it's hard for you to get up? It's soft. It's saying, you know, just go back to bed, Rob. Oh, come on, seriously, 10 more minutes, it's not a big deal. Just relax. It's not saying, come on, Rob, get up, you can do this. Get up, come on. If it was saying that, then you'd be up. Different strategy, right? So how we do everything determines our results. So you can start programming it if you really want to feel good and wake up every morning on time, excited, you can shift that. So what else? So we got loud and soft. What else?
Tone and fiber.
What is it?
Tone and fiber.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the tone, is it smooth, like a radio announcer? Or is it really raspy, like Tony Robbins' voice? Right? Was there another one?
Well, you said you can shift it. How do you do that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Because I would like to get up earlier in the morning.
Absolutely. And we're going to go over a little this technique later. So what else? The speed. What about talking really, really, really fast? Right? We all know where these people come from. Where do they come from? What part of the country? What part of the country do they come from?
New York.
New York, right? Back east. Man, they're always trying to sell me something. Or what about, you know, these type of people? They're just, come on. They really care about you. And their speech is slow as maple. Damn, that's annoying, right? You got people yawning. So there's different variances. Okay, good. What about kinesthetic? Right? Soft feeling or hard texture, right? Okay, smooth, yep, or rough. So these are all different qualities. Olfactory and gustatory, really, these tend, the main ones that really, for most of us, for like 90% of us, are focused on visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And as a matter of fact, I'd say out of these three, visual, whether you think you're a visual person or not, there's no type of person. It's just a system that you tend to run. And we all switch throughout these systems. Some major qualities, which you can just shift one, you can just shift one of those barcodes, a lot of times is the distance, so whether it's very close or whether it's far, the pictures we make, or it could be the location. Okay? So distance and far, but it also could be to the left and to the right. And also the size. Those are the three major, we call them drivers. And these drivers are the difference that makes the difference. Because the moment you get one of these drivers, you can shift it. You can go from a food that you really, really like, that you know is not good for you, and shift it into something that you don't like. And you'll get the same feeling of, let's say, those oysters, for those of you that don't like them, you'll get that same feeling of like, oh my God, that's so gross, for something you like. And you'll never touch that thing ever again, if you don't want.
Those three drivers again?
Three drivers. First one, these are the most common ones that will make, these are the things that make the change. First one is the location. And you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about when you see it done. So the location, where is it? Right? Is it to your left? Is the picture you're making to your left, to your right, in front of you, in back of you? Some of you might be thinking, Mel, but I have no clue where these pictures are. Consciously, you don't. Unconsciously, they pop up. So it's the location and it's the distance. So is it up close or is it far? Is it up close or is it far? And the third one is the size. Are you going to feel different about something that's tiny, tiny, tiny out in the corner that's the size of a stamp compared to something that's in your face like this big? Right? Do you guys get this? Everyone follow me, right? You're going to feel completely different about those two things. So those are the three. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift. I want you to start thinking about a food. This works really, really well on a food that you really love, but you want to choose to dislike. And you'll choose to dislike it, and if you want, you'll never ever touch it again. For me, I remember I did mine on pizza. Right? I loved pizza, but I knew it wasn't the best thing for me with the bread and the cheese, and it wasn't good for me. So what I did, it's a tool. It's one little, like NLP, if you can imagine, is like a tool belt. And there's a lot of different tools on the tool belt. One of those is hypnosis. The other one is mapping across. Other is swish pattern, parts integration. And all these tools serve a different purpose. The one we're going to go over, and you're going to see it actually done, is called mapping across. And it's amazing for food, changing something that you really, really love to something you don't like. And it's also amazing for belief changes. So if you have a belief that you want to adopt, that maybe you're not so confident about it, but you want to be more confident about it, you can instantly shift that. What about, you can also use it for what time do you, like waking up earlier? Because think about it. I want everyone to notice yourself. What if you had to, notice the feeling you get when I say this. What if you had to wake up tomorrow morning at 4 a.m.? You get a certain feeling? What about 5 a.m.? Okay, notice. What about 6 a.m.? Notice this. What about 7? Okay, 7's a little more reasonable. 8? 9? 10? Now I see most of you smiling. 11? Right? Do you notice that? Right? No smiles at 4 a.m. None of you like to go fishing. But big smiles, around the 7, 8, 9 o'clock. So do you get different feelings? So imagine if you wanted, you could feel good about waking up at 4 a.m. Right? If you really wanted, or 5, or 6. Right? You could actually feel good because it's different. We're making different pictures in our minds about each and every different time. So, let's see. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little break. When we get back from the break, I'm actually going to show you how this is done and how you can do this, how you can use these tools for yourself. And you're going to see someone's barcode actually shift. All right, welcome back. So I was talking to Jean-Michel, and he brought up an experience he had with something called, it's taking disassociation. What's disassociation?
Looking at yourself.
Okay. More or less emotion when you're disassociated. Okay, good. What happens when you can become double disassociated?
Even less.
Even less, right? So Jean-Michel was sharing an experience he had at the dentist. What were you having?
I was having a root canal.
Root canal.
Yeah.
And Jean-Michel knows hypnosis. He's been armed with the tools of NLP, and he double disassociated himself and
I fell asleep.
during a root canal. No anesthesia.
Well, I mean,
Did you have a little bit, or?
They had
They did,
whatever,
okay.
but I was still very uncomfortable, clenching and
Yeah.
whatever, and I just kind of, it took me probably a good 10, 15 minutes probably to get to the point that I could actually fall asleep, so I was definitely getting more
Yeah.
and more relaxed while they're doing the thing.
And that's, I've gone to the dentist and I'll hypnotize myself and not feel anything. And a technique to do that is double disassociation, which is an advanced NLP technique, which also you can use to immediately get rid of any fear or phobia that someone has. Really, really helpful. All right, so what we're going to do right now is something called mapping across. And mapping across changes the barcodes in your brain. That's what it does. And what we're going to do is we're going to use it on food. I'm going to pick one of you as a demo subject. A demo subject, and you're going to see this done. I want you to start thinking about a food that you might really, really like. You might even love this food. You might love it so much that you just want to get rid of it because you know it's not good for you. Thinking about that food that you might be thinking about right now, does anyone have something that they really, really love, but they want to choose to dislike it now? And NLP, by the way, is all about increasing choice. It's not about taking anything away. It's about having the choice to choose something else. It's all about opening up choice. Does anyone have something, any type of food? Yes.
Chocolate.
I've learned never, ever to take away a woman's chocolate. Okay? What kind of chocolate specifically?
A chocolate bar.
Chocolate bars. Any type specifically?
You will be specific.
The more specific, the better.
Snickers.
Snickers. So you love Snickers. Okay. So
Maybe peanut M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms.
peanut M&Ms?
Peanut M&Ms.
Okay, peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
So thinking about peanut M&Ms, do you get a picture of that?
Yeah.
Where's that picture?
Right here.
Okay, all right, good. Okay,
Yellow.
okay, all right. And, okay, I'll come back to you. Come back. Who else? Who else has something? Yes? Chips. Okay, any kind? Do you have a specific kind? Barbecue potato chips. Do you see her face? She's like a little girl in heaven. Barbecue potato chips. Okay, cool. And thinking about barbecue potato chips, do you get a picture? Where's that picture for you?
Where's it what?
Where's that picture for you?
Where is it?
Yeah, where is it? Like in your mind's eye, where is it?
In my mind, it's just a big, gigantic bag of chips with chips all over, and
Okay, you can stop. You're dreaming a little bit right
my
there.
mouth's just all happy.
And thinking about a food that you absolutely are disgusted. Do you have that? A food that like you would not even eat in a million, like maybe you've had it,
No, I forced myself. Broccoli. I forced it.
but if we had a bowl of broccoli here for you.
You'd have to really put some on that, like cheese or salt.
No, just plain raw broccoli.
Yes. I really pushed myself.
And thinking about that, thinking about the raw broccoli, easy for me to say. I was going to say broccolini, right? But, where's that picture for you? Point to it. Where is it? First place.
The first place, just like the corner and my head.
Okay.
Over here.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, I'll come back to you. Who else? Who else has something? You don't worry. You guys can volunteer too. This is not only that side. Yes. What do you got?
I like the special green smoothie that I make on my house.
Okay, a green smoothie. Now, is that something you want to continue to like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So do you have something that you want to choose that you don't want to like anymore? Because after this, you're not going to want to like it.
Cake.
Cake. So you love cake. Do you eat cake now? Sometimes? Do you want to never eat cake again? Yeah, kind of, sort of? Yeah? Okay. So thinking about cake, do you get a picture?
Yeah.
Where's that picture? If you were to know, where is that?
Somewhere in front of me.
Okay, all right, good. Good. Okay, I'll come back. Anyone else? Yes,
Potato chips again.
potato chips again. Do you have a certain type of potato chips?
Oh yeah, the vinegar and salt.
The vinegar and salt.
Oh yeah, you hear it.
See, that's another one. You either love that one
Yeah.
or you hate that one, right? Okay, so do you also have a food that you really don't like?
Well, I have something that's not food, but looks a lot kind of like potato chips.
What's
It's
that?
really disgusting.
What's that?
Chicken chips. Like it gets kind of flat and
But have you had that?
I've been around it.
You've been around it. Okay.
It's kind of like
So just for the sake of this technique, it's always good to do it with something that you've actually had, that you've actually tried. So, but it's still definitely. I mean, you can do it. You can definitely do it. It's just to see the the maximum result in it. Normally, it's good to have something you've tried. I am going to go with. Is it Julie? Judy. Judy. Let's give Judy a round of applause. Come on up. Take a seat, Judy, in the change chair. That's the one.
Oh, this one?
That's the one for you.
I
This
like that one
chair.
better.
I know. One day
Something
maybe.
drew me over there.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, when you do this, does it have to be something very specific? Like it can't just be chips? It has to
It's better. Like when we it was chips. You said barbecue chips.
Barbecue.
Okay, so because she's so specific on that, when she sees barbecue chips again, like there will be no desire whatsoever. So it can work on general. It's just when it's very specific, like we could have done all candy bars, but when if she picked the chocolate M&Ms, she's never going to want that ever again. It just works more powerfully when it's very, very specific. Okay?
So I won't like barbecue, but I'll still like Doritos.
Yes.
With cheese. Okay.
But see, this is the cool thing. This is
As long as I have advice.
This is the cool thing. With NLP, with this technique, I'm going to guide you through it. Once you know how to do this, you can do this for yourself. It doesn't take me, right? When I see clients one-on-one, I don't want them depending on me to come in every single week. That's not how this works. This works that she makes a change, she makes a permanent change, and it happens right now. And you'll see that. And she'll understand how her brain works. She's going to be empowered after this for whatever food she wants. Now, again, this is all about, Judy, increasing choice.
Okay.
Right? So it's not about getting rid of anything. It's understanding that, look, instead of having barbecue chips, what else could you choose that might be better for you? Or what can you choose instead besides chips? If you choose, that could be healthier. Right? So who knows? It could be those veggie type of chips or whatever, right? But no, broccoli. It's not going to be broccoli, because what we're going to do here in a moment is we're going to take the barcode of broccoli and we're going to switch it and we're going to we're going to take the chips and turn it into. No, you're not going to love broccoli unless you want to.
It would be better for my health.
Okay.
If I
For
had broccoli instead of chips.
For this exercise, or for this demo, what we're going to do is the barcode that she has for not liking broccoli is how she's going to feel towards broccoli is how she's going to feel towards the chips. That makes sense, everybody? Okay. And so just notice what happens, and don't look at me. I want you to notice the shift in her. Okay. Have the sensor in NLP. It's called sensory acuity. The minute micro movements and the muscles, the shifts that she goes through when we do this. Okay? Everyone ready? Okay. All right.
Okay.
How's it feel to be up here, Judy?
Great. I'm happy.
So you're like natural up here.
Yeah.
We have a good looking crowd, don't we?
Yeah, from what I can see, sure. All look great. Smile.
Good.
Good.
All right. So Judy, thinking about how much you love those barbecue chips,
Yeah.
I want to
Like, give me some now. I'll eat the whole bag.
I want you to ask your unconscious right now if it's okay for you to permanently get rid of the barbecue chips and be able to just have a better choice and be able to choose something else instead of those.
Logically, yes. But cravingly, no.
Okay, that's fine. As long as you want to, congruently, you're not going to have any more cravings, right? Unconsciously, it's just, you won't have that desire.
I'd like to crave broccoli instead, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you won't like broccoli instead. That's not the plan.
Okay.
Okay. Does everyone get that?
I don't substitute.
No, no.
Okay.
Don't worry. You don't even need. You're overthinking it. Don't even think about that. Okay. You'll see here in a moment. Here we go. Ready? So thinking about how much you love those barbecue chips. Look at. Right? Don't look at me. Look at
That's all you
her.
have to say.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
She's like a little girl.
I am.
So when you think of when you think of those
Gotcha.
chips,
Yes.
when you think of those barbecue chips right now,
Barbecue chips.
where does that picture show up for you? Where's that picture?
Everywhere in my head.
Where is that? Right here. In your mind's eye, where is it? Right around here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want you to tell me, how big is that picture? Is it this
Huge.
big? Show me.
Like the whole head.
Okay, so how big? Show me. Is
Well,
it
how
this
big?
big?
Is my head? Like that big.
Okay, so it's like this big?
Yes.
And it's right here.
Yes.
Okay. Is that picture color or black or white?
Color. Color orange with salt. The type of style of chips. I mean, I can give you details.
Okay, good. So what did I just get from her? Did I get the size? Right? I got the size. So it's right here, right? This is the size. Did I get the location? Okay. Where is it? For her, it's like it's in her head.
Totally
It's like
everywhere.
right here. Right? She probably also has a very big kinesthetic about it. It makes you feel a certain way, right?
Yes.
Okay? And we also got the distance. It's not far, it's very near. It's close to her. So we've got those three major things, right? Okay? Now notice what happens. Does it smell like popcorn in here? It kind of smells like popcorn, doesn't it? No? I don't know. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. All right, Judy, so thinking about how much you dislike broccoli,
Yeah.
I mean raw broccoli.
Raw broccoli.
Is-
Cooked, I can handle a little better because I put cheese sauce on it.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about the raw kind. Thinking of that picture, where is that picture? In your mind's eye, where is that picture? Go
In
point
the
to
center,
it.
but small.
Okay, so point to it. Where is it?
Like in here somewhere. Like
No,
around
okay.
my nose.
Okay. So is
it's
it
like around in here.
okay?
Smaller.
And is
Not
it
as grand as the chips.
okay? So show me what size.
Like your phone.
Okay, good. So is that picture close up or is it far away?
Far away.
Okay, so point to it. Where is it? If you were to see it far away, where is it?
Like
Where is
the
it out there?
books.
Okay, good. So it's way out there.
Yeah.
And show me how. What size is it again?
Size of the books.
Okay. And is it color or black or white?
My broccoli?
Yeah,
Oh, the green.
it's green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Green and white because it's getting moldy.
Okay, good. Good. So, moldy broccoli. Okay, so for that, do you see the different barcodes? Now, it's okay that they're both color, right? That's okay. The driver, though, is what? Is the distance and absolutely, okay? Different barcodes. So, this is what we're going to do. Okay, Judy.
Yes.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready?
Okay, good. I want you to go ahead and bring up that bag of chips again, barbecue chips.
Okay.
You love them.
I've taken them out of the bag.
Okay,
They were
good.
just sitting in a row.
Okay,
waiting.
excellent. Good. Now I want you to take that picture, right? Where this
Okay.
is like right here, right in front. I want you to go ahead and start shrinking this picture. Just follow, just shrink it. I want you to shrink it like to the size of my palm, and I want you to go ahead and bring this picture all the way out. Just follow me here.
Okay.
All the way out. Make it smaller, and just all the way. And actually, as a matter of fact, just go ahead and move it all the way down to those books. And you know the sound a master lock makes? It just goes,
Yeah.
locks in place. Go ahead and lock your chips over there. Actually, right where that broccoli is. Just lock it in place.
Okay. So the
lock it in
broccoli and
place.
chips are next to each other.
Right next to each other.
Okay.
Lock it in place.
Got it.
Good. Okay. So, I'm just curious, I mean, how do you feel now about having some barbecue chips? No, I'm serious. I mean, if you had some barbecue chips right now, how would you feel about having them?
I would eat them, but I don't have like this wow kaboom feeling about them like I did a few minutes
So
ago.
I want everyone to notice this shift.
A little bit, yes. I do feel a shift.
Like, all of you know, I know you notice it.
That when you took the picture and made it smaller, I did feel that.
Okay, you all notice this, right? When we used to talk about barbecue chips, she turned into like a little giddy girl, and now it's like, well, you know, like, I guess I'd eat them, but meh, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have to fight not to.
And that's exactly what this does. What this does is this increases the choice. So it's not like, oh my God, give me the chips. Right? It's now like, well, look, like, if they're there, I could eat them, but really, I just don't feel like it. And the same thing happened for me for pizza. Like, I'd eat it. You know, if it was the only thing there, I'd eat it. And I'd also look for other choices because I knew I now have that control to choose something better. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, there is only one way to test this. And NLP is all about testing. It's all about testing and making sure this works. So it's your task to go out there and find some barbecue chips and to report back to us and see how that works out.
Okay. I have
Okay?
some home.
And just notice if it's the
Ready
same.
for lunch tomorrow.
Notice if it's the same or if it's different. And if it's different, then you know that you can change and choose something better for yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, as long as I don't have that strong, like when I see it, I've got to have it with my sandwich.
That's
feeling
gone. That's long gone. We all saw that, right?
In my
Gone.
face.
And now you try it out.
You can tell.
Let's give Judy a huge round of applause. All right. What did you notice? What did you notice?
All of her excitement is gone about those barbecue chips. Even frown.
That's, you can't make this stuff up. You can't fake that. Right? Okay. What else? What did you notice?
Her face just went from happy, perky, yay, nice and tight to just
Yeah.
kind of really relaxed and whatever.
Yeah, she turned
What did you
a
notice?
little green.
A little green.
Yeah, right through here,
Yeah.
coloration.
Yeah. Good eye. Okay. Anyone else? What did you notice? Okay. Cool?
Yes.
How would you like to see this done with a belief that someone might have? Right? What if you can use this with a student, a kid who believes that he just can't get straight A's? What if someone believed that they're a C student? And if you said, hey, you know, like, you can get A's, and they're like, and I can't because I've always gotten C's. I don't even believe that I can get an A. No matter how motivated you get that kid, they're not going to even believe that they can get an A. Motivation lasts temporarily. This is the type of stuff that lasts permanently. And what you're doing is you're inspiring a different barcode. You're creating that for somebody. What about someone, let's talk about the context of finances. Right? What if you have been making $50,000 for your whole life and you're good with that, you know you can make that, but you want to move and you want to make $1 million. How many of you believe you can become a millionaire in here? Okay. So that belief might be, I can become a millionaire no matter what. Or it could be like, yeah, I think I could do that. Or you might be thinking, Mel, I don't need to make $1 million. That's not even important to me. That's fine also. The thing is that if you believe you can't do it, whatever you believe is true. I thoroughly believe that there's no right or wrong belief. There isn't. There's no right or wrong. It's you have to look at the results you've been getting. And if your beliefs are getting you those results, then you need to change your beliefs. That's the bottom line. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a little bit more certainty in a belief that you want to have. So I want you to think about something right now. It could be something with health. It could be something with finances, your job. It could be something that could be in your relationship. I want you to think about a belief right now that you would like to believe, but you're shaky on it. You're not certain about it, but you would like to be more certain and believe it to be true, because then obviously we know you get what you focus on. And if you focus on that and you believe it to be true 110%, you're most likely going to achieve it. So does anyone have a belief right now that right now it might not be solid, but they would like it to be more solid and feel more certain about it? What do you got, John?
I'd like to be 195 pounds.
195 pounds. So right now, do you believe that you can be 195 pounds? Okay, so did everyone, don't look at me, look at him, right? So that was, yeah, right? So how would you like to know for sure you can feel that you can be 195%, or 195 pounds, right? Because think about it, isn't it all about the way we feel, isn't it? If you feel like you're a multimillionaire, if you feel it, if you feel like you have $500,000 in the bank, if you feel that, if you took a moment and felt that, would you walk down the street a little differently? Would you enter the workplace a little differently? You would, right? The crazy thing is that you have to cultivate that feeling first in your life to get it. You have to cultivate a feeling first of an amazing relationship, of loving, of caring, first in yourself to attract that on the outside. And that's where we're kind of stepping into the law of attraction, but that's the key, is that if you felt that way, you would be a different person and you would attract a whole different set of results. True? Right? So that's why it's so important to be able to harness the feeling, and that's what we're going to do here in a moment. So I'll come back to you, John. Anyone else? Does anyone else have something that like they just want to feel more certain about in their life? Yes?
I want to set up my own private practice. So I work as a psychotherapist, but for an agency, but I want to, now that I've got license, I want to set up my own private practice. So I have thoughts around that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want it to take it to the next level.
Okay. So what's stopping you right now?
What's stopping me right now? I don't know where I want. I know I want it, which area, which location, and
You know which location, or
I know I want it in Orange County, but I don't know where.
Newport Beach?
Newport Beach.
That's where you want it. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Okay.
confidence behind that, or the how-to. I think I'm not sure on that.
Okay. So can everyone pick up on that uncertain? I'm not
Yeah.
picking
No,
you out, but as a group, can you pick that? Can you, like, with the language patterns and how she's fidgeting, can you see the uncertainty, right? So it's absolutely crucial. If you want to walk out of here a little bit more valuable as a person, everyone in here is already very valuable. You're valuable sisters, mothers, daughters, fathers, your grandpas, grandmas, you're all very valuable already. If you want to be even more valuable, work on your level of certainty in your life. Your certainty of love for someone else. Your certainty of getting a deal done. Because people follow certainty. You guys know that? That's what people follow. Leaders, whether they're right or wrong, they just have a little bit more certainty than everybody else. And people are attracted to that. Because if you've been programmed with less certainty, you're going to follow someone that has more certainty. And that very well can be you. Because when you decide to be a leader, that's when you can create the results you want. That's when you can help more people. That's when you can make as much money as you want. That's when you're living life on your terms. Okay? Do you have a question, Vicky?
Is that the same thing as confidence?
It goes hand in hand, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so thank you. How do you say your name? Najma. Najma. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Anyone else? Does anyone else have a certain belief or a certain result that they want, but they're not sure about it? Yes.
Actually, I want to perform at the Magic Castle again. It's been a long time.
Okay. So you've done it one time and...
Yeah, it was like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm getting feedback. It's like we're waiting.
And do you believe you can do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like how?
Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Good, good. I'll come back. Okay. It's a good one. For this, I'm going to go with Jean-Michel. Okay? Let's give Jean a round of applause. Okay. Now, again, this is something all of you can use on any type of belief that you're not like confident about, you're not certain about. You can shift it into a very certain and confident, like it's already done type of state, right? So as I do this, you can follow along and just pick up, and I will break it down step by step. Okay? All right. John, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good, man, good. So, how's life?
Great.
Things are good?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good.
Good at 190.
Okay. So, thinking about right now, tomorrow, right? Thinking about tomorrow, and if I were to tell you the sun wasn't going to rise tomorrow, it's just going to stay down all day actually tomorrow, would you believe me?
No.
How certain would you be? Just how certain would you be knowing that the sun will rise tomorrow? How certain would you be?
100%.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
100%. So if like scientists and doctors told you, look, John, the sun's not coming out tomorrow. The sun is going to stay down. It's going to be dark all day. You wouldn't believe them. So when having that certainty right now, knowing for sure 110% sun's coming up tomorrow, where's that picture right now? Good. Okay. And is that picture right here? Good. Okay, so show me what size that picture is. Okay, good. And is that picture, is it a movie or is it a still?
Still.
And is it color or black or white? Color. Okay, good. Good. And it's right there. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right. What are you guys staring at? You know it's not nice to stare. Didn't anyone tell you that? Okay, so... Okay, all right. So 190, have you ever weighed in 195 before?
On my way up. Pass.
Okay, all right. So I mean...
High school, well, probably college, yeah.
Okay, all right. So are you noticing what's happening already right now? Already right now? Like the voice changes, different, right? It's all signs of like, he's not certain, right? If 195 is, he's just not certain about it. It's not like the sun coming up tomorrow, right? So, okay, so thinking about how, like, uncertain you are about 195, I mean, where's that picture in your mind's eye? Okay. And that picture over there, show them what size is it? Okay, and is that picture color black or white? It's gray?
Yeah.
And is it focused or defocused?
Kind of blurry.
Kind of blurry, okay. Good. And is it way out there, or is it's just
Beyond my reach.
okay? Okay. Do you hear the words? What did he just say? Do you know that our words, they don't only describe our reality, they create our reality? Right? That's okay. We're just picking on you tonight. Don't worry. Okay. All right. Good. So he has two different barcodes, if all of you obviously can tell now, of something he's totally certain about. No matter what, it's happening. All of you have this barcode also. No matter what, it's happening. It's for sure. There's no doubt about it. And then we also have those barcodes that are uncertain. And we can relate different pictures to those. You see how different his pictures are. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What would you do?
Shift it.
We're going to shift it, right? So what would we shift?
The one that's far away.
Absolutely, right? So this is how he's perceiving it. So what we're simply going to do, I'm going to say, okay, great. So Jean, bring up that picture of, you may or may not be 195 over there, unfocused, you said it was gray?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want you to start bringing it closer to you. Okay? Start making it focused, clear, and color. Good. I want you to start moving it over here. Good. Move it over here. Just where that sun was rising, right? Knowing for sure. Right there. Wherever it is, just go ahead and lock it in place. Good. Just lock that in place. Good. 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 So, John, I know a moment ago you felt one way about 195. How do you feel differently now?
It's just a question of when. Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Okay.
Maybe I'll put potato chips.
Now, can you see this, right? I mean, did you see the shift of even how he's sitting, how his being, the nodding of his head, all of that, much more certain. And now that picture is locked in place, it's going to move him, and it's going to be, he's going to be easily, he'll be guided toward that much easier and simpler because of that certainty he now has. Cool?
Yes, very good.
All right, that's a big shift.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Let's give Jean-Michel a big round of applause. Okay? Can you do this? Is this simple? This is simple stuff. This is not rocket science. This is just understanding how your mind works, how it interprets, and it's all about you getting the tools and you getting the skills and learning this for yourself and for others if you want to help them. How long did this take? Do you think you can sit with someone and you want them to be decisive, right? You want them to be decisive, you know what you're selling them, it's good for them, they're going to benefit, and it's good for you, and it's good for the universe. It's called ecology in NLP. It has to be a win-win-win scenario, but they're indecisive, and they won't pull the trigger because they're in an indecisive state. What if you could take them from an indecisive state, which we just did, right, to a more certain decisive state instantly, and have them make a decision and say yes and do what's good for them? Would that help? What if you taught them how to do that for themselves? You see, successful people, this is what I've learned. I've interviewed a lot of multimillionaires, and money to me, it's not everything. It really matters who that person is on the inside also. Two things that I've learned from successful people, not only monetarily, but people who have achieved amazing results in their life, they do two things. They make a lot of decisions, and they make them fast. They do those two things. They don't care if they make wrong decisions. That's not in their mind. They know that that decision can always be fixed or redone. But they make a lot of decisions, and they make them fast. They don't wait. They're like, okay, great, I'm going to do that. If it doesn't work out, hey, that's feedback. It didn't work out. When a little kid is when a little kid is learning to walk, and they're learning to walk and they fall the first time, do you say, I got a problem here. Your kid's he's a non-walker. He's just not going to walk. Don't even bother, kid. You don't tell them that, right? They get up and they do it again and they fall and they do it again and they fall until you learn, until you get it, until you do it, right? So that's what successful people do, is they make a lot of decisions. And if you can cultivate more of a decisive state in yourself, you'll get a different set of results. Might be better, but for sure they will be different. So this is how I work on it. I'll go to a restaurant, and before I was very indecisive. I was indecisive. My parents didn't teach me to be decisive. They didn't say, Mel, be decisive and you're going to do well. I had to figure that out from people, from my mentors. So I'll go to a restaurant, and how many of us, I was definitely there, hemming and hawing, well, no, that sounds good, and no, I don't know. You go first, you order first, right? And we'll do that. How you can practice is the next time you're at a restaurant, you pick something the moment you open up the menu. Open it, you pick it. Hopefully it's something you like. But you pick it, and that's it. And you go with that decision. What that will do is that will start training your unconscious. It will start reprogramming you, and it will cultivate a dynamic of certainty within you. Okay? Question?